Welcome to CharityVillage Connects. I'm your host, Mary Barroll. That's the sound of a hummingbird pollinating our world and making it a better place. The hummingbird is Charity Village's logo because we strive, like the industrious hummingbird, to make connections across the nonprofit sector and help make positive change. Over this series of podcasts, we'll explore topics that are vital to the nonprofit sector in Canada. In this episode, a new report by Environics Institute, Future Skills Centre, and the Diversity Institute, exploring challenges in nonprofit employment, has highlighted a disturbing and perhaps surprising finding. Job satisfaction in the nonprofit sector appears to be lower than in either the private or public sector. In a sector that focuses on meaningful work, what is driving a significant number of workers to feel dissatisfied? And what does this mean for the future, given the existing talent crunch and the need for recruiting younger demographics to work in this sector?
We know that people who are dissatisfied with their job are more likely to make mistakes.
That's Stephen Eyre, who authored the report Burden of Care.
They're more likely to be disengaged. We know there's going to be profound consequences and costs to the organization when people are dissatisfied. And then, of course, one of the most critical is the impact on employees themselves.
Wendy Sukier is founder of the Diversity Institute at Toronto Metropolitan University and the research lead at Future Skills Centre. Both organizations collaborated with Stephen Eyre to publish the Burden of Care report.
I think for us, it was actually surprising to see that the levels of dissatisfaction with employment in the sector are higher than in the private sector or in government. We don't know the reasons, we just know the patterns.
Perhaps not surprisingly, the affordability crisis is fueling anxiety everywhere, not just in the nonprofit sector. And it's hitting young people particularly hard.
Life for young professionals can be exhausting.
Housing prices are way too high, food prices are way too high.
People are questioning internally, what type of work do I want to do?
That's Pamela Apal, Director of Policy and Interim Co-Executive Director at the Ontario Nonprofit Network.
What gives me motivation, self-fulfillment, what sort of fits the lifestyle I want to live? They're questioning the quality of their jobs. They want good work. They don't want to just work for minimum wage.
Ryan Erb is Executive Director of the United Way of Perth Huron and is the Acting Chair of Living Wage Canada, which aims to improve working conditions in the nonprofit sector by certifying employers who commit to paying a so-called living wage.
It's not all about the money, but it still is at the end of the day. If people are struggling to make ends meet, that is their first thing. Their obligation is to make sure there's food on the table for their family, for themselves, and we want to make sure it's more than just about surviving, right? We want people to thrive in our industry so that they have something to give.
CharityVillage Connects is a continuing series of discussions and ideas. In this 22nd episode of our series, we explore the disproportionately high levels of discontent among workers in the nonprofit sector and possible solutions.
To learn more about the services provided by Charity Village, listen to Charity Village Connects wherever you find your favorite podcasts and visit charityvillage.com.